one case study that I like, so I'm going to present it. When I started the Sustainable Food Systems program, the first thing I did was to spend 6 months doing an ethnographic immersion with growers around California. Coming from Silicon Valley internet products, I will admit to not knowing a whole lot about how food is actually grown, and that was the first problem I needed to solve. So I spent 6 months going all around California to see a wide variety of crops. Any grower that would let me on their farm and spend a day and tell me about how their crop is grown, what the problems are that they have, I really wanted to understand their perspective. At the same time, I was also going out and meeting with, I think in the end, about 50 different startup companies around the Silicon Valley who had raised money in this AgTech space. They are very optimistic about solving problems in agriculture, but it was clear that there was a big gap between the realities of agriculture and food production and what they thought were some of the problems that they were solving. But one of those few companies that was solving real problems was a startup called Wexus. The two founders came from the energy industry, and they understood a lot about how energy management and how much energy is consumed by farms, especially in the movement of water. So they started a company where they can take the data that the utility companies get from the meters, and by having that data in the cloud and using data science to analyze it, they can provide back actionable measures to a grower to help them save money. Sometimes it's something as simple as you are actually not on the right rate plan. You know that you're paying utility bills as if you are a suburban resident instead of a farm, different rate plan. They also worked with a series of IoT sensors that are water flow monitors. So they can take the energy data from the meter and usually water pump. And what's hard to see here, but one of their customers is Jackson Family Wines. And they did a test in 2 vineyards, which encompassed also 3 water pumps. And just getting the energy data and looking at it, there was already immediately about 3 actions that Jackson Family Wines could take that reduced 9,200 kilowatt hours of energy draw, which is about $9,000 in annual savings on their energy bills. But when they combined looking at that energy data, they could calculate the efficiency of the water pumps, they could calculate the water flow from the IoT sensors on the water valves, and what they had identified, if you can see right here in this part of the graph, is that suddenly there was a massive drop in the pump efficiency and a big drop in the water flow. And they alerted the winery could see in their dashboard also that this was happening. 2 days later, that pump failed. What was interesting is that Wexus figured out we need to make a better feature that shows we can predict pump failure. Just by using IoT-ified devices and looking at that data in the cloud, we can predict when that water pump was going to fail. We knew it, Wexus knew it 2 days before it happened. Now what actually happened is that the well broke and the water drained back into the aquifer. So for almost 3 days, the water pump was pumping air, which burned out the motor. And so they had to dig a new well, replace the motor. The pump was offline for about 3 weeks, and the whole thing cost them $30,000 to fix.